an AI surveillance state and summon demons into this world in order to live forever, okay? So this is a grand conspiracy. But again, it doesn't explain why we have no evidence, why the elite don't think they're part of this, and why this is anti-historical, okay? But once we transform this into a literal explanation, and this is a literal explanation, this explains everything, okay? The elite don't think this is conspiracy because they're too busy fighting each other. They're not looking at the grand scheme of things. Whereas the people who are not involved in this game can look at the movement history and can come to an intuitive understanding of how this thing moves. And it's moving towards more control, more order, and more power. Okay? And this helps us explain why the system persists even though the elites will rise and they will fall. Because these elites are already in competition with each other, so what's happening is that certain elites are replacing other elites, but they all have the same agenda, which is more power, more order, more control. Okay, does it make sense, guys? Okay, and that's why we actually read the text of these secret societies, of these thinkers. They look as though they are building on top of each other, even though they probably have not read each other, okay? People who seek power are very much alike. They're different from you and me in that they're probably psychopaths. Okay? All they care about is power, and so powerful people come together in order to create more power for themselves. Okay? Does it make sense, guys? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over the evidence. Okay? So what I want to first do is discuss this man. His name is Albert Pike. And he was born in the year 1809, 1891. And why he's important is that he's considered the grand architect of American Freemasonry. Why American Freemasonry is important is that it's the people who control the American government. 1/3 of all American presidents were Freemasons. Okay? And these people today control the American military, the national security apparatus, the CIA, the FBI. All right? They're not called the Freemasons, but they go back to the Freemasons. So they share the similar ideas of the Freemasons. So Albert Pike was one of the major leaders of the American Freemasons, and he's considered the grand architect, meaning that he built the system and the ideas that underpin modern-day American Freemasonry today. His most important work is called Morals and Dogma. And it's basically the standard textbook of American Freemasonry, okay? So we're going to look at a few passages from Morals and Dogma. And I know they're a bit long, but it's very important for us to understand